I wanted to talk about what's with all the multiverse stuff, why they keep doing it. Used to be popular for a while. People like the multiverse stuff. Hey, you like Boba Fett? Here's a whole religion of Boba Fett's, and I all have to wear a Boba Fett helmet, and then they ruin it. Right? Except for people, they like it maybe. Do they like Boba Fett stuff? Hey, you like Boba Fett? We're gonna give you everything else but Boba Fett. Here's a whole bunch of strong, independent Boba Fett women, or whatever that was. You like Spider-Man? Here's the multiverses of Spider-Mans. You like Superman and Batman? Here's every version of Superman and Batman. Why'd they do all the multiverse stuff? Because that's part of our future. In the Bible, there are realms. And realms are places where they're going to put people to take their bodies, because demons want to have a human experience, and some of the things that are demons used to have material embodiment, and they're not allowed to go to heaven, and they're not yet sent to hell forever. So they're here on the earth, and that's the realm of, not realm, but that's demonic possession. Like when people get possessed by demons, they push the person out of the way and they take over. So what they want to do is take over people's bodies and stick them in other realms. So we're being primed for this through multiverses and the internet. The internet is a problem. People going online to live another life, like spending all your time in online gaming, like whatever game it is that you like, maybe not you, but whatever game it is that people like to spend all their, like you're spending hours of your life online inside a made-up world, and then when you go to sleep, you're in the astral realm or the dream realm, and stuff happens in there, and a lot of times your dreams, you'll have, you know, it's not always symbolic. Sometimes the dream, it's a place, it's a dream realm. I mean, didn't you ever have a dream, you're like, it was so realistic though, and then you wake up and then here you are in the real world. It's like, I liken it to like when they do CG special, when they do computer generated effects, and they're just like too hyper detailed that it doesn't match with reality. It's fake, but it has more detail than reality. The example I guess I'll give is when they did Davy Jones in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and they had all these sea creatures, like these, they were pirates that got turned into sea creatures and barnacles and stuff, and there's Davy Jones and he looks like an octopus. There was too much detail, that it had too much detail that it didn't mesh with reality. You know, like it wasn't blurry enough. It wasn't, you know, I don't know how to put it. It was just like, it didn't fit well because it had too much detail. And I think that our dreams can be like that. Like they have too much detailing, but it was more real. But in the dreams, it's like more consistent. You know, like the texturing or whatever is more consistent. And yet all the time in dreams, things break down. Like we're in some kind of dream realm, and then maybe you've had this experience where you're there with a beautiful woman, and then she turns or moves a certain way and she becomes uglier. There's some kind of like illusory quality in dreams where like the illusion breaks, or you're in your childhood home where you grew up when you were a kid, but it doesn't look quite like it used to. It's so real, like you're there, but except that it has rooms or features that your home didn't actually have, and then you wake up and you're like, but it was so real, and you're like, yeah, but we didn't have an attic like that, or our kitchen wasn't like that, but it was like the house I grew up in, and I knew that's where I was in a dream, but then when I wake up, I'm like, yeah, that's not what it really looked like. Or you see somebody in a dream, and it's so real, except that that person's already dead. They don't look like that anymore. They're grown up now, and then you see like a previous version of them from like whatever you remember them, but it was like really realistic. Or you're there, I've had this happen too. I'm with an ex in a dream, and they look way more beautiful than they ever did when I was with them. So it's like an idealized dream version of this person, and then you wake up and you're like, yeah, that's not them. Well, I think that's what they're priming us for through multiverses and movies, because they don't make movies really, like they don't spend millions of dollars on movies just so that we would like them and that they could make money. They want to make money, but also the programming tools. BlackRock talked about forcing behaviors, the famous BlackRock clip where Larry Fink says, well, at BlackRock, we believe in forcing behaviors, so we're just going to continue to force behaviors. All the movie studios and TV studios that make movies and TV shows, all of them are all on board with the same things. They're forcing behaviors. Oh, you don't like this movie? You don't like another girl boss thing? Doesn't matter. You're going to get another one. You don't like this constant demoralizing of men? We're going to keep doing it. We're just going to force it. We know that you don't like it. We know that Disney is losing money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on every single thing they do. And like, we don't care. We're just going to keep doing it. And they'll talk about, like, as of me recording this video, they're talking about admitting, like, yeah, maybe we got to change some things. I assure you, they're not going to change anything. They're going to keep doing the same shit. They're telling you, like, yeah, we lost so much money because we gave people movies they didn't like because people are onto them. But guess what? They're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep doing the same thing. They're not going to change. So they've got they've got the world on the hook with their phones and everything. I saw the lighting change. I don't know why, because my hand maybe. So they got us. So they think. I mean, you know, just because they planned all these evil things for so long doesn't mean that I make videos talking about how they're going to get their way. You know, that's what prayer is for. We can pray against these things. But they are setting us up for multiverses. And why? Because demons want to take our bodies. They want to get us high. They want to get us online. They want to get us to pine away for a better world. They're taking everything away from us. Remember that. I think it was Larry Fink, same guy, said for BlackRock, which is Blackstone, Vanguard. It's all same. They're evil, okay? They need to be taken apart. They need to be destroyed by every means necessary. And they said in the future you'll own nothing and you'll love it. Except that the punchline is that you're not going to love it. You're going to hate it. They want people to be depressed and on the phone. And then you want to be somewhere else. And then when you sleep, when you dream, they're going to offer you places in the dream realm. Or when you're high, they're going to say, you want to stay here? You know that I'm your friend. I'm the purple DMT lady. Why do you want to just stay here? Do you want to stay in the realm of the cosmic jesters? Do you want to stay in this realm that we created for you based on your data that we analyze? Yeah, I do. And then they're going to take your body. And you're going to be possessed. And they're going to push you out of the way and take your body, and you're going to be in some kind of realm, some kind of multiverse. And it's a pretty crazy thing to say, but I'm saying it. The demons aren't afforded our material embodiment. We're talking about the difference between corporeal, we're corporeal, and incorporeal, that which does not have material embodiment. So we're talking about demonic possession. We're talking about demons getting into bummed out people's bodies, tricking them, saying you can stay here. I mean, they do this. They do this in movies, where they try and trap the person and then take over their body. They even have like body switch stuff, which is pretty much the same thing as the demonic possession stuff. Did you ever see the Stephen King Skeleton Key? It's a book. I saw the movie. So in Skeleton Key movie, Kate Hudson, they trick her into stealing her body. And then there's other movies like that, like it's just like demonic possession. What's that movie? I forget what they talk. It was about white people taking over black people's bodies. I forget what that is. Everybody hates the guy that directed the movie, Jordan Peele or whatever. He made the movie Us or Them or They or whatever it was. And then it was about just like stealing the person's body, and like we're gonna take your young body and you're gonna be stuck in our old body. And they keep making movies like this. And again, it's nothing new. And even in Jim Henson's Labyrinth, there's a scene where there's this old witch, like a witch puppet, and she's talking to Jennifer Connelly, and she's like, why don't you just stay in your room and you don't have to grow up? Look at all your things here. You love this. And she starts covering Jennifer Connelly with all her possessions and material goods and things of her being a girl. And she's like, this is all shit. I don't want any of this stuff. And she's like, throws it away, and she breaks the illusion. And that's like a movie version from the 1980s of trying to trap somebody. You could talk about being trapped in suspended adolescence, but I'm talking about something more dangerous. Like, hey, if you have suspended adolescence, you can break out of it. Sometimes it takes people a long time, and they're like, oh, my life, and a lot of it's gone, but you can wake up from it. But I'm talking about pushing people out of their bodies into other realms that are gonna suck, and then basically your soul's trapped there and your body's being taken over and puppeted. There's a Stephanie Meyer movie about it where these aliens, it's called The Host, not the Chinese The Host with the sea monster. No, it's Stephanie Meyer, the creator of Twilight, The Host. And you don't have to watch the movie. If you watch the trailer, you'll get the gist of it. In one of my videos, I don't know if it's out yet, but it does include the trailer for The Host. And what it's about, to get on with it, is there's an alien invasion, and the aliens take over our bodies, and the person's still in there, but the person gets pushed out of the way, and the alien, which is a demon, takes over the person's body. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That was about communism. When did that movie come out? Like the 50s or the 60s? The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, black and white movie. I think it might have even been a Roger Corman film. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, Invasion of the Body Snatchers is about the pod people, and people go to sleep, and then when they wake up, something else has taken over their body. Or it's actually what it is in Invasion of the Body Snatchers is, it's the same thing, but it's symbolically done differently. If you go to sleep in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the pod people are making another version of your body, and then it looks like you, but you die in your sleep, and the pod person just is you now. Like, there's no you anymore. You're dead, and then it's just they stole your body. Well, that's just demonic possession. And it's in the Bible. Jesus casting demons out of guys. The guy lived in the graveyard, and they put chains on him, and the chains couldn't hold him. And then Jesus says, "Who's in there?" And they say, "Call us Legion, for we are many," which is the demons telling God, "Hey, there's a whole bunch of us in here, and that's why this guy is so strong. He's full of demons." So Jesus casts the demons out into the swine and then drowns the swine. But this is the modern day version of that, and we're being primed for this. There's this thing, what's it called? There's a word for it that young people are doing this thing called shifting, and they call it reality shifting. Probably, well, it's mental illness, but probably part of it is like priming us for, some people used to have nightmares. Now what's happening to people in their dreams is they're going into the other realms, and they're being vaunted, and like, we're so glad you're here, you're the best, let us teach you things. And they're being taught witchcraft and sorcery in their sleep and their dreams, and ultimately they're being set up for a fall, which is they want your bodies. I know this is crazy, right? Demons want your body, and they've been working on this for a long time, and now we have the internet, and how people can be programmed through media, and the hypnagogic trance that people went into through television has been worked on and honed and perfected to what it is that when we watch LED screens, we watch monitors, like we're going into a different type of trance when we watch internet content. Like, you've seen, I should hope by now, because I complain about it so much, the brain scans of people who play video games, people who do whatever different drugs, and people who are addicted to watching pornography. And what's the other one I'm missing? But anyway, basically what happens is they're showing brain scans of what people do by being online too much, and it's shutting down your brain. And your brain's, parts of your brain just aren't functioning, and there's no like life activity. Like, your brain's dying, like parts of your brain are just shut down. And yeah, so this is making a zombie, and the zombie thing has become popular. So it's demons taking over the person's body. The person's dead, and then the zombie's there, and then like I know when George Romero made like the zombie movies that everyone thinks about, flesh-eating zombies today, when he made Dawn of the Dead, he was talking about consumerism, and that, you know, like people were dead, but they still wanted to go to the mall. And there was a lot of stuff in George Romero's graphic, grim Dawn of the Dead that was kind of like, there was jokes in it, even though they didn't really come across as very funny. And the original ending was a nihilistic ending where both the two people that survived shuffled themselves off this mortal coil, and that's a terrible ending. But yes, the idea of this demonic possession stuff, and if you look into the genre of anime, there's so much stuff where people get their powers from demons, and the superhero stuff, venerating and worshiping the old gods. A lot of the Marvel and DC superheroes are actually just predicated on like the skeletons of old gods, you know, like the foundation. Like Thor is a god, you know, like not god, but he's like a lowercase g. He's a demon. Like Thor is a Satan surrogate or whatever. What's the story of Thor? He got kicked out of heaven by his father. He got kicked out of Asgard by his father and cast down here to Earth with us, but he has powers and abilities far beyond that of the normal man. And so, you know, all the superheroes are just versions of the old gods that people used to venerate and worship. So how do you get people to keep venerating and worshiping them? Make those the movies they put all the money into, and then people watch them and go, wow, that was really cool, we'd never seen that before. Now we've seen it before, and we don't want to keep worshiping and venerating those old gods. And part of that probably has to do with the forcing behaviors stuff, because it doesn't matter if you don't like it, we're just going to keep giving it to you. So bum people out, stress them out, give them what they liked, and then give them shit, and then have them go find stuff to do online. And then I think what they're trying to do with the forcing behaviors is just to break the will of the people, you know, like globally, and then get people to want to be online all the time and trap them in the DMT realm. There's all these realms, right? They're making space, or they're using these spaces, and I feel like they're making places to put people so that they can take over their bodies, and trap souls and stuff, which is a dirty trick. And a lot of this stuff happens in dreams. There's a lot of people that talk about the dreams that they have, and they're getting into New Age because of it, because in their dreams they're being given stuff that works and is effective for them in waking life. So instead of just giving them nightmares, and yes, some people are having sleep paralysis, and they're seeing the Hat Man or the Benadryl Man and all these characters. People are seeing reoccurring characters in the dream realm, in the drug realm. And in the drug realms, let's just call it for what it is. It's the blurring. When you take drugs, you're blurring the boundaries between corporeal and incorporeal. And that's a crossroads. That's a meeting place where you can meet up with the demonic. And these drugs are made in labs, so where they get the ideas for these drugs and all this stuff. So it's dangerous. And young people are being tricked into thinking, oh, you're the greatest, you're the best. And they're like, this dream place is so much better than my waking life. I mean, people are just being online all the time are saying that's better than the regular life. Our brains are being changed, shut down, sure, but we're being I guess neurologically is the way to put it. We're being chemically rewired to require the dopamine fixes from whatever it is that we like online that's unhealthy for us. And addictions are happening from this that are shutting down our brains, but it's rewiring us. Like all the dirty book talk, the spicy book talk is turning women into perverts, where like mentally they're being changed, where it's going to be required that they have to be made love to by a Cthulhu or one of the balls. You know, there's all these spicy book talk videos. Maybe you've seen them. I've done a couple of spicy book talk videos where I talk about like, hey, look at what's being done to women. They should do brain scans. When do we get to see the brain scans of what spicy book talk does to women's brains? But it literally is rewiring us. Like, this is how kinks get started and become a problem in relationships. Like one person, like people are married or they're in a relationship, and one of them develops a kink. Now they got to have that kink, and the other person is like it's not working for me. So they're like, maybe we got to spice up our relationship. So they try all these dirty things, and then something happens where something they didn't even expect that they'd be into. Now you're into it, and you have a fetish for watching girls fall into quicksand, or that's one of them. That's weird. I don't know how you do that to your brain. I've seen a lot of stuff on DeviantArt, and I'm disgusted. I used to laugh at it. Now I'm just like disappointed. I'm like, no, look what they did to us. They're making people want to be cubed, or having people painfully transform into things, and they get boners. It's not good. And we know that this stuff is it's not just men. It's having effects on men and women. And if you're a child, you can't compete with that. Like if you're growing up and you're coming into, you're coming into adulthood, and something that shouldn't be sexualized gets sexualized, now you got a problem. And, I guess what I'm saying is that if your brain gets rewired to sexualize or fetishize something that's not real, then the real world can't compete with your fantasy. And people are getting trapped in fantasy and saying, you know what, the real world can't live up to my own brain, which is why people talk about selfishness and narcissism and the vanity, all the deadly sins attached to that shit. Ego, vanity, pride, all this stuff. I know ego isn't one of the deadly sins. I'm just saying, like vanity and pride and also narcissism. The idea that a real person is flawed, and that would be an experience you'd have together. But if you can program your lover, even if that file gets deleted, then you can reprogram it again and get, because it's happening to people. People fall in love with ChatGPT, and they have their AI chatbot boyfriends and girlfriends, and then the service provider breaks or shuts down, or they lose the data, and they're just like, well, I'll reprogram it again. I got to get them back. And it's just, that's narcissism. The idea that you could program your lover. That's not really love. That's just control. But it's also, again, it's like staring at your own reflection. What do I need you for? You're this whole other person, you blood bag or whatever. I'll do it myself. I'll make somebody for me that's better than anybody ever could be. And then how could anybody ever compete with that? Except by having a pulse and actually being a real living person. It's way better than your fantasy. It's actually real. But people are being broken down like this, and as they try and take everything away from us in real life, the only thing that they're going to allow us to have is internet and our phones, and then you're going to have to pay for all that stuff. And they want to measure our poops, like they want to know what we're eating. They already have devices that fit into a toilet, and it analyzes your stools to let you know what's in it. And they're like, hey, how'd you get meat? I mean, maybe they don't have that technology yet, but that's where it's going. Like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be eating bugs. How can you have these proteins in your stool? And it's a little thing that fits, I'm not kidding, it's a little thing that fits on your toilet that measures like blood and your poops and all this stuff. They talk about wanting our data. What do they want all that data for? They want to know everything. Who's they? Why do they want to know everything about us? Well, they want to figure out a perfect system to manage people, so know everything about people. I would say underneath it all, it's biblical. What's really going on is just wanting to crush people's souls and push the person out of the way and let a demon have that body. And there's so many demons down here that a lot of people don't just have one demon in them or one unclean spirit. They have a lot. And like fleas on a hound, demons. A lot of people have this. It's terrible. Yeah, I don't know how much more I have to go on. I think that the part of the multiverses, I'd say like a main thing about multiverses is just pushing the person out of the way so that a demon can take over their body, or multiple demons can take over their body. So when they say, the forces of Gog, Magog, surrounding the camp of the saints as grains of sand in the sea or something like that, I forget how it's worded. But that's part of the book of Revelations. Like, I think could it be Revelation 27? where it says about, the battle of Gog Magog, and I'm like, yeah, that grains of sand in the sea doesn't necessarily mean people. It just means demons probably, and a lot of those demons might be in people. So that's all. That's just my 2 thoughts on the spiritual warfare of multiverses and putting that out there for us. You thought it was just about, what kind of Spider-Man would they like? Give them every kind of Spider-Man. What kind of, like, whatever the multiverse is. Like, here's every Batman. Oh, but it's also like part of an insidious plan to take over our bodies and put demons in them, I think. So that is all. I just wanted to warn you about that. Demons want your bod. That's all. Watch out for your girlfriend if you got one. It's also part of divide and conquer. Make people lonely and isolated, and that's how you prey upon people. That's how people are preyed upon. When I talk about all this grooming stuff, and they do stuff to hurt kids, you find somebody that you can isolate and keep them alone. And they're doing that to us through the internet. They want everybody to fight with each other. One of the things it said in the authorship for New World Order was a series of small-scale conflicts at all levels at all times. That's divide and conquer. They want us always scared, always cortisol, so we go to the internet for dopamine, and then take as much away as they can get, take as much away from us as they can, and then say, here, you can have this. And that will be the internet. And that you would do anything just to stay on it, because the real world, they make it suck. Look at how they give away phones for free for years. Like, I remember seeing the flyers. I've talked about this so many times, you're probably sick of it if you subscribe to this channel. I remember being in the parking lot of Walmart, and they were putting flyers on every windshield of the cars saying, hey, are you on welfare? Maybe you'd like to be. Do you know that if you get on welfare, we'll give you and every member of your family a phone for free? They'll just give you a free phone. Why? I'll tell you why. They want us all online, and they want our bodies and our souls. They want our souls to go to hell, and they want our bodies until they get sent to hell, and then they want you sent to hell with them. And I don't even know you. But that's all. So, keep praying. That's the most advanced weaponized technology that's ever going to be available to mankind, is we have a direct line to the creator and maker of all things. So, pray to God against their evil plans, because just because they planned all this stuff for so long doesn't mean that it's going to work. Pray against it. We have the technology to pray. What do we do against this technology that's being foisted upon us to destroy the world? And for a lot of people it's working, or it's working in ways they don't even realize it. Pray to God that it fail. Pray for their plans to fail at every twist and turn. You're limited in prayer only by your own creativity. It's a personal relationship with the maker of everything. So he made this matrix or whatever we're in. He's the architect of everything, not demons. Okay? So the power of our words, made in the image and likeness of our creator we are. That's why the demons want our bodies. So pray to God against their evil plans, because that's what we're supposed to do. That's it. That's enough. Pray to God. I really mean it. Pray to God that their plans be destroyed, because just because they planned it for so long doesn't mean that they're even gonna get their way, whether we prayed or not. But I would say pray anyway. I think God will appreciate your efforts to pray against their evil plans. I'm not sure how to do that, how to pray. Read the Psalter in the Bible, because the Psalter lets you know how people prayed to God, and you're like, wow, you can really go like deep with it. You can like really put your, really go out there with it and say, please, Lord, I'm tired of waiting. Help, please. Yeah, like people, Prophet King David in the Psalter, come on, the guy who pours his guts out. And we know what he did, because there's a whole chapter, there's whole sections of the Bible on him. So, and then we have the Psalter that lets you know how he prayed to God. And he's apparently musically inclined, so a lot of times he was singing the Psalter in another language, but I'm talking to you in English, so when I read the Psalter, it's in English, so I'm like, how do you sing that to God? I don't know. You don't have to. It's your prayers. We're people of a different time. Prophet King David's time is over, but the world's basically, it's the same world. We have the same complex of human emotions. So pray to God and pray for their plans to fail. Pray for BlackRock to be dismantled. Pray for Disney to be declared a monopoly. Don't let them, again, like I'll say it one more time and I'm out of here. We are limited in prayer only by our own creativity, and I think that God would appreciate us using our own creativity in communication with Him about what your ideas are of how to make the world a better place, and just simply being watchful and praying to God for their plans to be destroyed. You think you're the only one doing it? Hey, maybe you're the one that has like a really great prayer to God for it, and He's like, I like that prayer. A lot of people have been praying for this, but the way you put it is great. Maybe you won't know about it until eternity, but pray, because we're worshiping praying beings, and it's the most advanced technology, weaponized technology it can be, against the forces of darkness. That's what we're supposed to pray. That's why the wealthy elite whose fortune shaped the fates of nations, whispered to by demons, don't want you to pray to God and ask for help. They want you to pray to them. They want you to worship them. They want you to do stupid shit, but they don't want you to pray to God and ask for help. And Jesus is, you want to talk to God, you got to go through Jesus. So before you didn't know His name, now you know His name, use it. Pray to God. And, in your daily waking life, you can say, what would Jesus do if you ever read the Bible? And if you haven't, maybe you want to read it. And if the thing that you're thinking of doing isn't what He would do, don't do it. And, ask God right then and there, what do I do, Lord? Because God is everywhere present, filling all things. His love permeates all things. So pray, because God values that we would pray to Him and ask for help. And it's not a selfish thing to pray for all the world. You know that we're not supposed to live like this. This isn't the way the world's supposed to be. This isn't what God wanted for us. So what's our part to play in making the world a better place? Our part to play, in part, is to pray. And it's a significant, valuable action against evil and forces of darkness, is that we would pray to God. Did I tag hammer you over the head with this enough? So pray to God, please. And never stop. Never stop. Even though He won't give you all the shit you want. Just pray for other people then. Just get on it. Don't stop. Pray to God. Amen. Start prayer group. Something.